Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales in the form of physical delivery, offshore depositories, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology.
Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Joining us for a conversation is David Cole, the President, CEO, and Director of EMX Royalty, the royalty generator. Mr. Cole, welcome to the show.
Maurice, always my pleasure.
Delighted to have EMX Royalty back on the program. We brought you on today to discuss EMX Royalty's transactions and interest in the Goodpaster District of Alaska. But before we begin, Mr. Cole, please introduce us to EMX Royalty and the opportunity you present to the market.
EMX Royalty Corporation is a company that acquires royalties on metal deposits, most specifically gold and copper and other metals of interest around the world. And royalties are fantastic financial instruments that expose the royalty holder to long-term upside of these assets.
Mr. Cole, the company is thriving while much of the natural resource space is witnessing supply destruction and competition is becoming capital constrained. Let me ask you this here. Share with us how EMX Royalty employs a highly efficient three-pronged business model.
Happy to. Yeah, we're very proud of that, and it's worked very, very well. We generate royalties through the prospect generation business model, where we go out and acquire prospective mineral rights utilizing our economic geologic skill sets. And we've done that to a great degree around the world. We've reviewed over 5 million acres of mineral rights in our history. We have over 2 million acres of mineral rights on the books. We acquire mineral rights, we add value, we sell them to an industry hungry for prospective areas, and we maintain royalties on those positions. So we grow a royalty portfolio via that business model. And most other royal companies do not do it that way. Long term, it's a vastly less expensive way to acquire royalties. We also buy royalties, and a couple of key royalties we have in the portfolio we have purchased. And the two augmented together is a very powerful way to approach the industry. And then thirdly, with those smart economic geologists around the world, occasionally they identify strategic investing opportunities to buy shares in other companies where there's something special going on, usually based upon our business acumen and geological intellect that we identify these opportunities. And our strategic investing history throughout the time that we've had EMX Royalty Corporation is just a fabulous 40% internal rate of return after tax. And it was recently that we had a strategic investment that was liquidated in Russia that paid off handsomely, that put us in a situation where we have a very large treasury and no debt. And it's a very good time in the market cycle to have a large treasury, as you know.
Speaking of strategic investing and royalty generation, EMX has been very active in Alaska recently. Mr. Cole, take us to the Goodpaster District of Alaska and introduce us to what is becoming one of the hottest contested mining jurisdictions.
Happy to. Yeah, we're very excited about our interest in Goodpaster. And the Goodpaster District is host to the Pogo mine, which is a mine that's produced over almost 4 million ounces of gold in its history. It's currently in production. It was recently sold to a company called Northern Star. And Northern Star has implemented an aggressive drilling program that's resulted in some nice discoveries being made along the trend of mineralization. That caught our eye, and we recognize this as a prospective geological terrain. And Millrock Resources, ticker symbol MRO on the Venture Exchange, has actively been working this area for some time. They owned a lot of property in that area, and they had some ideas about further acquisition, and they approached us and said, hey, we need some money to act upon this intellectual knowledge base that we have, acquire more property ahead of this ongoing discovery. And we said, great, let's do a deal. So part of that deal was a blended deal where we invested corporate equity into Millrock and became a significant shareholder in that company, which we believe is a good prospect generator and royalty generator, in addition to acquiring royalties on the properties that they acquired with the money that we put in. And that was a fabulous way for us to do a deal that has great optionality, where we can win via the royalties we have on the properties, in addition to the share ownership in the company.
Yeah, it's a fantastic transaction for both teams. And full disclosure, Proven and Probable has Millrock Resources as a sponsor as well. But there was also a second strategic investment you made, and that was with Corvus Gold. Share the details with us.
Yeah, happy to. So, one good deal begets another. The Corvus sold a database to Millrock many years ago in exchange for a royalty. And Corvus was active in this mining district and had royalties within that broader area of Goodpaster and somewhat beyond Goodpaster, and owned a royalty portfolio there. Corvus is working on a discovery in Nevada called Mother Lode in the Bullfrog district, and they need money to advance that asset. They come to us and they said, "We'll sell you our Goodpaster royalties if you make a modest investment in the company." So once again, it was a blended equity and royalty deal, which we like, with that embedded optionality of being able to win in a couple of different directions. And I would like to point out that the total royalty footprint that both of those transactions combined together gives EMX Royalty Corporation is 233,000 acre percent royalty interest. And what I mean by that is the percentage of royalty that we have on the various land pieces throughout the district times the number of acres that we have at that royalty percent accumulated over the entire position is 233,000. It's a very nice footprint over a large area with substantial geochemical anomalies that are indicative of the potential for gold mineralization. And so we're just happy to have that portfolio and happy to be supportive of development in that emerging district in Alaska.
Where else may shareholders anticipate receiving news from this year?
Oh, that's a great question. We have some $19 million a year being spent on our properties by our counterparties around the world, which would include many of the world's major mining houses. Anglo American is drilling on projects in Arizona. BHP is drilling on projects in Arizona. We have Rio Tinto, Zinc, the largest mining company in the world, drilling on multiple projects that they've acquired from us. South 32, another major company in the copper business, is drilling on our Riddarhyttan property in Sweden and is working with us on acquisition of additional properties in the western United States. So we never know where that news can come from, but there's a lot of activity going on across our portfolio, and that's one of the great leveraging aspects of being a royalty holder, where you get the counterparty to pay for the advancement of these important assets. Yeah, it works really well.
Let's shift the focus from the Goodpaster District and discuss the value proposition we have before us in just EMX Royalty as a whole. Mr. Cole, how many projects are in the asset portfolio?
It's getting close to 100, let's say 90 plus.
How many active royalties does EMX have?
Over 60.
And what is the current capital structure?
Well, we're in fantastic shape. We have zero debt. We have over $55 million in the bank, and millions of acres of mineral rights, great counterparties. We've never been in a stronger position than we are today.
Multi-layered question. What is the next unanswered question for EMX Royalty? When can we expect a response, and what determines success?
Well, success is increasing our cash flow ultimately from the royalties that we own around the world. And there's multiple opportunities for that to come organically within our portfolio, in addition to the opportunities for us to be able to buy cash flowing royalties with our cashed up treasury. And so success can come from many different angles, and that speaks to the optionality embedded in our portfolio and our business approach.
Sir, what keeps you up at night that we don't know about?
Yeah, Maurice, that's a good question. I'm always negotiating another deal, and I'm always thinking about the terms of that negotiation and competitor activity. Of course, I care very deeply about our team. There's a lot of intellect there, and I always want to make sure they're traveling around the world safely.
Last question. What did I forget to ask?
It's always good to talk about the ongoing success on the cash flowing royalty we have on the northern portion of the Carlin Trend at Leeville, where Newmont dropped in a new $300 million shaft, where production continues forward. Newmont continues to announce good drill intercepts within the footprint of our royalty, and that's it's a good cash flowing royalty for us. retrospectively paying around $1.5 million US per year. We expect royalty income flow to continue for many years to come, and that's a key asset to have in the portfolio. And then, well, I guess it's okay if I have two things. the Cukaru royalty that we have in the Timok magmatic complex of Serbia, which is a huge ongoing, it's the largest ongoing copper gold discovery in Europe, and we're very, very pleased to have a 0.5% royalty covering that discovery, and that's an embedded company maker within our portfolio. And we're always happy to remind folks that we own that one.
Mr. Cole, for investors that want to get more information about EMX Royalty, please share the website address.
That would be emxroyalty.com, Maurice. Thank you.
For direct inquiries, please contact Scott Close at 303-973-8585. That number again is 303-973-8585. Or you may email sclose@emxroyalty.com. EMX Royalty trades on the TSXV, symbol EMX, and on the NYSE, symbol EMX. And just for the record, for every bullion purchase I make this year, I'm matching with shares in EMX Royalty. EMX Royalty is a sponsor of Proven and Probable, and we are proud shareholders for the virtues conveyed in today's message. Finally, please visit provenandprobable.com for mining insights and bullion sales. David Cole of EMX Royalty, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.